Hello friends, welcome once again to our channel for online teaching and learning. Friends, today we are going to discuss about the types of economies. Friends, we all are aware that all over the world different types of economies are working or are prevalent. So the types or prevailing types of economies are different due to their different features or different targets of their economies and different targets set by their governments. So let us understand today these different types of economies, because a particular type of economy is chosen while doing the economic planning. So let us understand the features of all these types of economies. So basically there are types of economies and there are three types of economies. We can classify the economies into three. First one being the capitalist economy. So what is meant by a capitalist economy? The name itself suggests that an economy in which capital is very important. By capital, we mean the finances, the money factor, the investment. All, of course, investment in monetary terms and in terms of kind also. So if we say that a producer has invested 1,000 crore rupees or even 1,000 crore dollars in setting up a factory, we are saying that he has contributed the capital towards his business. So this is capital contributed in money form or monetary form. But the same producer can contribute the capital in terms of costly machinery. For example, a machinery which costs 5,000 crore rupees or 5,000 crore dollars, whatever. So capital may be contributed in the monetary forms or non-monetary forms. But basically the economy which is based upon the principle of money, money and money, or profit maximization for that matter, then we call it a capitalist economy. So capital is everything for such economy. The producers over there or all the people in the economy for that matter, they will be just profit driven. They will do all the activities that are profit oriented. So they will do everything for that particular profit or gain or income. So for them, nothing above profit. They just want profit, profit and profit. So this is just the capitalist economy. Let us understand the features of this capitalist economy in detail. So first one being, it is called as market economy. So the other name for this particular capitalist economy is market economy. Now why it is called market economy? Because in such economy, the market forces play a vital role in deciding the production of goods and services. Now, which are these market forces? The market forces, meaning thereby the demand and supply. Demand and supply are regarded as the market forces. So, why demand and supply? Because due to such market forces, the price for the goods and services is fixed or is decided. So, the market forces of demand and supply help to ascertain or determine the price for the product or service. So in this capitalist economy, which is also called as market economy, just because the market forces have a very significant role to play. So all the decisions regarding production of goods and services will be taken by the producers on the basis of the demand and supply, that is the market forces in the economy for a particular product or service. Thereafter, private ownership is another feature of the capitalist economy. So capitalist economy, the feature is private ownership, means the ownership of the goods and services Rather, I would say the ownership of the means of production or factors of production lies with the producers, lies with the private sector people or producers. So the factors of production or means of production, the examples are land, labor, capital, machinery, etc. Entrepreneurship. All these are called as means of production or factors of production. So their ownership, it rests with, or it lies with the producers themselves. For example, the land will be owned by that producer. Then the labor, the people in the organization, that is the employees or the labor, they will be purchased or hired by this producer. So this producer will have full control over the appointment of and the work of the laborers or employees, and employees rather. So they are owning the labor as a factor of production also. Thirdly, they are owning the capital, because not just land, they own machinery also, they own the other factory resources. So landowner, labor owner or labor hirer, then they own the machinery, they purchase it on their own. So this producer or these producers of various goods and services, they have full control over the factors of production. Rather, they own it, we can say that. So private ownership is there. No other person can own such factors of production if they are owned by these particular people or producers. Then there is self-interest. What is the motivating factor in this capitalistic economy? The motivating factor in the capitalist economy is profit. So profit maximization is the only motive of any producer in the capitalist economy. So wherever the profits are declining, these producers will not be interested. They will just be on the back foot. So capitalist economy is profit-oriented economy, or self-interest is promoted in such economy, and nothing other than profit they will accept. So self-interest is promoted over social or public interest. Then this type of economy, capitalist economy, it ignores the social interest. Since it is a profit-oriented economy, since it is self-centered economy, only self-interest is promoted. They have the profit maximization motive. So naturally, if one wants own benefit, naturally they are going to neglect the benefit of the other. That is, if the producer wants to protect his own interests, he will not be able to protect the interest of the society or general public at large. So naturally, social interest will not be protected. Social interest here cannot be protected, and hence we are saying that capitalist type of economy is going to ignore, or it ignores rather, social interest or public interest. So there is growth in this capitalist type of economy. Definitely it grows, because more the capitalist economy it is, more will be the production of goods and services, because more and more producers will go for establishing the factories and they will increase the production by themselves. So more the production, maybe demand will increase, and in that case, yes, there will be growth in the economy, definitely. But such growth will not assure us the social justice, because here only the self-interest of the producers was promoted and protected, and the social interest was neglected. So in this case, yes, the rich will become richer and poor will become poorer. The gap between the rich and the poor people will widen, and we can say that there will be no equitable distribution of wealth or income in this type of economy. So these are the features of capitalist economy. That it is called as market economy, because the market forces of demand and supply are acting here to determine the price of the goods and services in the economy. It has private ownership upon the goods and services and their factors of production. Then it is self-centered, or only self-interest is promoted. Thereafter, it ignores the social justice, or social interest is not promoted. And there is growth, but without social justice, we can say. Now let us turn to the socialist type of economy. Another type of economy, it is called as socialist economy. The very first feature, by its name itself is suggesting that there is social economy. What is meant by a social economy? Obviously, an economy where social welfare is promoted or public welfare is promoted or interest of the public or society is protected. It's called a social economy. So, in this social economy or socialist type of economy, we can say there is public ownership of all the factors of production. By public ownership we mean that the government of the economy or the country, it will have the stake in, or it will have hold upon the factors of production in such economy. Obviously, the factors like land, labor, capital will be owned mostly by the government or society at large. So, public sector undertakings mostly can come under this particular type of economy, wherein the public ownership of capital is there. Capital is contributed by the state or the government. Then maybe the land is given by the government to such factory or industry. So public ownership of things, public ownership is there of the factors of production. It may happen that the employees or laborers are also appointed by or employed by the government itself. So all the factors may be owned by the government in this case, or public at large. Then public interest. The socialist type of economy definitely promotes social interest. The name itself calls for the protection of the interest of the public at large. So social welfare, public welfare is the foremost, or it is the core of such economy. And hence we can say most of the economies earlier, you can say few years back, a couple of years back, or a decade also, socialist type of economies were prevalent, like USSR, etc. Soviet Union, what we used to call. So it was a socialist type of economy. Even in this case, even China earlier was regarded as a socialist economy. Now they have turned it as they wanted to protect the interest of the private sector individuals also. So now they have turned their economies into other types. So public interest is protected in the socialist type of economy. Thereafter, it promotes social welfare. So nothing other than social welfare is acceptable to this type of economy. Everything what they will decide will be for the social welfare only, will be in the interest of the public only. Even if at times they have to bear losses, they have to take loans for such protection of public welfare. So they may borrow, but they will protect the social interest or public interest. So this is how a socialist economy promotes social welfare always. Then role of government in such type of economy is maximum. So government has a maximum role to play in such type of economy. So most of the factors of production of most of producers of goods and services are owned by government. Initially, in the capitalist type of economy, government only has the ownership regarding, say, defense or main key industries, nothing other than that. But here, all the industries can be under the hold of government. So this type of economy is socialist economy, wherein social interest is the foremost criteria of every decision. So if at all if at all any decision is not protecting the social interest, then that decision will never be taken by such socialist economy. So role of government is maximum in this type of economy. But what happens whenever role of government is more? That means there is no role for profit maximizing. The private sectors will not be attracted towards such socialist economy patterns, because the private sectors, they are attracted only wherever they can see the increasing profit graph. Otherwise they will never be attracted. So in socialist pattern of economy, since only social welfare is important, profit maximization is not allowed at all. There's no scope of increasing profits in this type of economy. So private individuals or private sector will have no role to play. So they will be away from such type of developments. And hence we can say, since there is no private sector role in this type of economy, that is social economy, the growth in this type of economy is slow, rather slow, because there's no incentive for the private sector to work properly. So we know the way the works are or tasks are completed. We know the performance of such sector. So it is slow. The phase or pace of their progress is very slow. So growth is slow in the socialist pattern of economy. Then comes the mixed economy. Mixed economy, the name itself suggests. Why are we calling it mixed? Because it has mixed in itself all the merits of capitalist economy as well as socialist economy. And it has tried to avoid the demerits of both. So what are the merits of these two are taken care of by the mixed economy. So the means of factors of production, the means of production or the factors of production in case of private sector are owned by the private individuals. Then private sector is allowed to maximize their profits. So profit maximization is definitely allowed in mixed economy. But to protect the social interest also, certain rules and regulations are imposed by the government. So here in the mixed economy, the government also has certain role to play. So government as well as the private, so public as well as private sector works hand in hand in case of mixed economy. So the means of production are owned by private as well as public sector. So means of production are privately owned also, and certain means of production may be owned by the public also. So both the interest of the producers or private sector people are also protected. At the same time, social welfare is also promoted. So merits of all capitalist as well as socialist economy patterns are imbibed in this particular type of economy, that is mixed economy. So what are the merits? Firstly, market forces will be allowed to have their free play in mixed economy also, because this is the merit of capitalist economy, and yes, they are going to take care of merit of both, that is capitalist as well as socialist economy. So market forces will now have free play in this particular type of organization. So we can add here market forces have free play or role to play. Thereafter we can say private ownership is also there and public ownership is also there. This is another merit that they are taking care of. Then self-interest is also promoted and social interest is also promoted. So self-interest plus social interest is promoted. So there will be profit maximization. We can say profit maximization is there plus social welfare is taken care of. So this is how all the merits of these both are taken care of in case of mixed economy. So we can say there is growth. So GDP is definitely going to increase. So in case of mixed economy, we will have GDP, growth is going to be there, it is going to increase. Since GDP will increase, social welfare will also increase. This is also going to increase. So social welfare along with growth of the economy. So nothing like that. So this is the mixed economy which has the features of capitalist as well as socialist economy. And of course, the demerits of both are tried to be avoided in the mixed economy. Being the mixture of these two types of economy, naturally, good is to be taken, bad is to be avoided. So this is how this is the mixed type of economy. So let us recapitulate what we have learned. There are three types of economies. Basically, first type of economy is called as capitalist economy, second type is called as socialist economy, and the third type is called as mixed economy. Capitalist type of economy, the features are it is market economy because the market forces of demand and supply have greater role to play in this economy in price determination of goods and services. Then there is private ownership of the goods and services and the factors of production. Then there is self-interest promotion, that is profit maximization will be given the boost in this particular economy. But it ignores social welfare and social interest. There is growth in this type of economy, but social justice is not seen. So social justice may be absent in this. There may be growth without social justice. Then the second type of economy that we have seen is socialist type of economy, wherein it is called social economy because it is for the society, by the society, of the society, just like the definition of government or democracy, isn't it? So social economy is for the people, by the people, of the people. Public ownership. All the factors of production or means of production are owned by and managed by the public or society or government for that matter. So public interest is promoted, highly promoted. It promotes social welfare. Role of government is maximum in this type of economy. But there is slow growth. Growth is there definitely, but growth, the pace of growth is very slow. It doesn't have any momentum because there's no incentive for the private sector. There's no profit maximization scope in this particular economy. Then we come to the mixed economy. In this type of economy, as we said, the merits of these two types, that is capitalist economy and social economy, are combined in mixed economy. So means of production are privately owned as well as owned by the government also or public. So private and public ownership of means of production is there. Then market forces have definitely a fair play in this type of economy. So price determination is done by demand and supply for the goods and services. Then self-interest is promoted as profit maximization is allowed. And social interest is also promoted as government has different regulations and policies formulated for the same. Then definitely due to that, there's going to be increase in the GDP, that is gross domestic product, that is the total production of goods and services in the economy is going to increase definitely, along with social welfare. So we can see here that in mixed economy, the merits of these two, the advantages of these two economies, that is capitalist and socialist economies, are combined, and it tries to avoid the demerits of both. So friends, this was all about the types of economies.